Okay, good morning. I think we're about ready to get started. So are we live? We're good?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, good morning.
All
We're
right.
live, and good morning.
Well, good morning, everyone. Mayors, members of the...
Before we get started, we need to do roll call.
Oh, okay.
So, because it is a special council meeting, Char will get us going, and good morning and welcome to our special council meeting. This is a continuation of our workshops that we've been doing, departmental workshops, and we will begin with roll call.
Rodriguez. Jingula.
Here.
Bills. Reynolds. Haverfield.
Here.
Griffin.
Here.
Oh, is Griffin here?
I think we just could, who
Oh,
just
yes,
said?
I just see him right now. Oh, thank you. 3 present.
Okay, so online we have, that was Sebastian
We have
online?
Sebastian.
Okay.
Councilmember Griffin.
Thank you. then
And
can
Madam
I-
Mayor, just for a point of order, although we do not have a quorum, this is a workshop and there are no action items.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And then if I could have us double check on the other 2 council members that aren't present. Okay, so they won't be here. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Mayor.
So this morning, Development Services, thank you. Look forward to hearing
You're
from you.
welcome, and I want to thank Sheila, homemade steel-cut oatmeal back there for your enjoyment. And Economic Development went and balanced it out with some donuts. So overall, a neutral, healthy breakfast. I'm Mark Stoyer, Senior Director of Development Services, here with staff to present the Development Services Annual Update. Are we on? Good, okay. So I'd like to start with setting the foundation for exactly what the newly reorganized Development Services looks like. There's been some confusion on what Development Services oversees, so I just want to provide some clarification. For example, Economic Development used to be under Development Services. It's now its own separate department. However, Development Services still works very closely with Economic Development, as both play an important role in shaping NAMPA's future. With your approval last year to move forward with the reorganization of both Development Services and Public Works, we spent the first part of this fiscal year developing an organization which best provides developers and contractors, business owners, and residents alike a timely and effective planning and review process, a one-stop shop, if you will. This efficiency will be critical to the thoughtful, well-managed growth and development of the city of Nampa. These interconnected functions include planning and zoning, development engineering, building and safety, and code compliance. This process begins with planning and zoning, which oversees effective maintenance and management of the city's comprehensive plan, our future land use map, and zoning ordinance, through to annexation, development review, and entitlement. Rodney's group began this fiscal year with a significant staff shortage, but due to his leadership is now fully staffed with a highly competent and efficient workforce, and we'll hear from him in a moment with additional details on that. So from entitlement to certificate of occupancy, we have development engineering and building safety. Development engineering ensures that all civil site work is in compliance with city code and requirements. Development engineering is directed by city engineer Daniel Badger. So you might remember a year ago, Daniel was part of Public Works, overseeing capital projects and land development, but now his focus is primarily land development, and those responsibilities have been moved under Development Services as part of the reorganization. Part of the challenge with this move was the manner in which those costs will now be allocated as a result of the move from Public Works to Development Services. Daniel has worked diligently with finance on a plan which will be presented as part of the upcoming budget. One mention here is a portion of the budget that supports development engineering, essentially that was extracted out of Public Works and brought under Development Services, is similar to the current year's budget, so no insignificant increases there. Building and safety, which is in charge of ensuring high quality and safe building construction. John Nielsen, as he will cover shortly, has done a commendable job identifying inefficiencies in his organization and developing innovative solutions which result in providing better and more efficient services overall. Lastly, we have code compliance, which oversees the built environment through enforcing local codes and ordinances in an equitable and an impartial manner. One change that we made this year is that code compliance no longer is under building safety. Kent and his team now report directly to me, which is an added efficiency, especially considering the amount of related complaints fielded by the mayor's office and city council. So these 4 distinct and interconnected functions are brought together under Development Services Administration, consisting of the senior director, which is me, and 1 admin specialist senior, which is Sheila. When we filled that admin position last fall, it was unknown the level of responsibility this individual would undertake. Since then, providing support and coordination to all of Development Services, as well as some to the mayor's office. Thus, we are requesting an upgrade as shown here. The cost for this upgrade was simply met by a reduction of line items in the admin operations budget that were simply no longer needed. So each of the functions that make up Development Services have their own mission, goals, and accomplishments that will be shared in a moment. But from an overarching perspective, Development Services seeks to provide thoughtful and efficient short and long-term planning and ongoing project review and approval. Long-term planning will be specifically addressed through the city's comprehensive plan update starting this summer. This effort will include significant outreach to the community to receive their input on this plan, which will be critical to thoughtful and well-managed growth of the city of Nampa. Lastly, I believe quality customer service is paramount, whether it be through our online permit service, the public counter, inspectors out in the field, or access to management, and that includes myself. Our customers have the right to accurate, timely information provided by responsive, respectful, and knowledgeable staff. Now I'm going to hand it over to Rodney, who will start with planning and zoning.
Right. I was going to say,
Good morning, Mayor, council members. My name's John Nielsen. I'm the Director of Building Safety here for the City of Nampa. And today it's my privilege to give you a quick update of what's happened in the past year. And for me, it's literally been a year, so they can't fire me so quick anymore. But as you see, you guys seen this probably 6, 7, 8 times so far this year, just the contents of the slideshow. But the 5 questions from the mayor wanted us to answer, what's our mission? Our mission is to protect the people in Nampa when it comes to construction, and not so much being out on the job site and keeping them from falling in trenches, but more like when a 3,000-pound car lands on your roof, it's not coming through and landing in the living room. So those are all present, by codes, inspections, and stuff, and that's what we do. And again, part of the mission, as Mark mentioned,
John,
is,
can you tell me in the International Building Code where you find that section as far as cars on roofs?
I would direct you to probably snow loads help. Yes. So again, customer service is our utmost important mission too. We want to make sure that from beginning to end, we're there for the contractors and the citizens in Nampa. So who is our customers? As I mentioned, individuals and businesses looking to call Nampa home and invest in the residential and commercial properties within the city, along with contractors and engineers, architects that design and build them. So what does the customer value? They value timely turnarounds, plan reviews, assisting them through the process of applying permits, getting inspections, all the way through till they get their certificate of competency. And what are the results? So far this year, we've had enhanced customer service. We have reduced customer turnaround times, which I will show you later in another slide, and fewer complaints. So is our plan effective? Yes, we continue to strive through the gold standard in building community through our integrity, stewardship, teamwork, and exceptional customer service. And although it is fluid, constantly looking to ways to improve, increase our services, and be more efficient. So quick overview, year to date, we're about $4.3 million in permit revenue. Our construction valuation is $419 million. And basically a quarter of that came from one job. So, you know, throughout the, in '24, our value, construction value was $526 million. So if things keep continuing on the trend they are, we should meet or exceed that. Just some quick slides here to show you some of our numbers. This is our permit types up to year to date for fiscal year. We're trending pretty even with last year, except on residential. We're a little behind there. And reading articles and talking to people, you know, tariffs, all this tariff talk and everything comes into play, so people are kind of taking it slow. And usually on the residential side, you know, you might have a 1 or 2 man housing builder, so they're taking it a little slower than some of the commercial jobs. Our inspections by fiscal year, these are anytime one of our inspectors go out and look at something. So again, we're actually trending a little more than last year. We should be pretty close to it. But we're averaging about 170 inspections a day. Currently, I have 8 inspectors. That comes out to about 21 inspections per person. I'll show you later on in the slides. We're looking to bring on some more inspectors, and if we get 2 more, that will reduce the inspections per day based on the 170 to about 15 a day, and give our people a chance to get in there and really do a good and thorough inspection. Plan reviews, again, we're trending pretty good. We shouldn't have any problem meeting last year's numbers. And this number does include third-party plan reviewers. We don't have near as many this year as we did the previous couple years. And they average about 32 plan reviews a day. Our third party, I wanted to show you this graph. So 2023, we were way out there and we budgeted 267. Well, that was actual, is what we spent on third party plan reviews. Fiscal year 24, we spent 345,000. And so far in fiscal year 25, we spent about 8,000. So getting our teams together, getting the right people in there, we've cut this out quite a bit. And honestly, I look forward to bringing them all in-house by the end of this fiscal year. So,
John, can you repeat the 345? Was that last year?
Mayor, council member, 345 was fiscal year 24, yes.
Okay, thank you.
And some people like to see how many certificates of occupancy we issue, so we just thought you'd give you a look here. Residential, commercial, residential again, a little lower, but by the end of the fiscal year, I got to keep reminding myself we're still 6 months into the, or only 6 months into the fiscal year, so the numbers may not look quite right. So some of our accomplishments. We've reduced commercial plan review turnaround times by 50%. We went from 40 days to 20. We reduced residential plan review turnaround times by 40% and remodels and additional projects by 60%. We reduced permit intake times by 80% and reduced our contract plan reviews by 80%. Some of our goals for fiscal year 26, we want to process 95% of our applications within 1 business day. As we sit here today, our turnaround time is 1 day. That doesn't mean everything's done, but they've looked at the application and either moved it on or sent it back to the applicant for corrections. Increase in accuracy on budget forecast from 72 to 88%. I'll show you in the next slide or two how I'm working towards that. And then achieve a NAMPA Citizen Survey satisfaction score of 3.35. My team is going to put together 4 outreach classes this fiscal year, or coming fiscal year. We'll go over topics like sheds, carports, accessory dwelling units, vacant buildings and permitting and plan review applications and submittals. So try to get out there a little more in front of the community and one-on-one and give them show them what we need to see and what they need to produce when they're thinking about doing these projects. So we're starting off small, but we'll see how it goes.
Mayor? John, how were you able to reduce those permit times by 80%?
Part of it was just encouraging the team to get in there and go. I mean, I think when I first came on, correct me if I'm wrong, Jeff, but we were short 2. We had 1 permit tech leave and then had a vacant position on top of that. So we brought 2 more, filled those positions and just, worked with them and got them to not pick up the pace, but, efficiencies as far as what they're looking at. They were kind of getting a little deep into what I would consider plan review, and it's like we don't need to be that in-depth with it at the front.
Additional staff and just a reform of how the procedure is done?
Yes.
Okay.
One comment, Mayor and a city council member. One thing that, since John has been with the city, just his presence and just being boots on the ground, going around the office, being involved with his staff on a daily basis has been really helpful. There's actual leadership now in that department. So.
So a high-level budget proposal summary. This in fiscal year 26, we reduced our operations budget between 10 and 13%. And if you remember last year, Jeff did a great job of reducing it between 5 and 7%. So when I was talking about our getting closer to 88%, I like to think we're going to get a little over that, but Doug has his magic line that we're supposed to parallel pretty close to, and so we're working hard to get there. I'll also be returning 4 vehicles and not replacing them this year, so that's about $144,000 savings there. In fiscal year 27, I'll replace 3 per fleet's 10-year program. So this is the current org chart. As you can see right now, I have 6 vacancies. In the last 3 weeks, I had 8 vacancies. We brought on a building inspector and an electrical inspector, so now we're down to 6. So what I am proposing and talked with the mayor and Mark about is I'm going to dissolve 4 positions. We had these 8 positions budgeted for the last 8 to 12 months. I'm going to dissolve 4 of them, and then currently recruiting a plans examiner, another electrical inspector, and a mechanical senior. And we actually have offer letters out or getting them out for electrical and mechanical. So we have just 1 more plan reviewer to fill, and we'll have a complete new 28 staff instead of 32.
Mayor,
Yes.
so the 4 positions that are currently budgeted, they're not actually filled positions at this time?
Correct.
Okay.
Nobody is getting laid off or anything. They've just been sitting here vacant since I've been here. The business analyst was filled for about 3 months when I first got on, but it's been vacant since, so yes. And this would be the current org chart with the 2 offer letters and actually the 1 electrical that I have highlighted. We do have Bruce retiring here in about 2 weeks, so it's to backfill his position. So we didn't create another position, it's just a backfill. And then, like I said, hopefully we got interviews Thursday for our plan reviews, so by the end of the week, maybe we'll be fully staffed and can maintain that. And with that, Mayor, council members, I'd stand for any questions.
Thank you, John. Do you have any questions, council? That was a great overview. Thank you. Succinct, thorough, you did it. Great job.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Mark, great intro, too. Good job. So code compliance. You'll be awesome.
Well, thank you for having us today. My name is Kent Lovelace, Mayor, council members, sorry. I'm Kent Lovelace. I'm the supervisor for code enforcement. Give you a quick overlook of code enforcement and where we're at and what we're doing and why we do what we do. Sorry, there we go. So these are some of the short and sweet subjects we're going to talk about. Mission statements, you've seen these before. We're kind of following suit with everybody else. And then at the end, we'll talk about any budget proposal for 26 and the stand for questions. Let's get into it. Mission statement. Code compliance and community relationship works in partnership with the citizens of Nampa to administer a fair, consistent, and progressive code compliance program that fosters voluntary compliance, serves to enhance the safeguard of the city's community and development efforts, promotes and maintains a safe, desirable living and working environment. We strive that every day to accomplish that. And so far, I feel we're being successful. Current org chart, of course, we answer to Mark, as he explained a minute ago. And then I'm the supervisor. We have added this year a code compliance lead, Juan, that is new this year. It's working out really well. And then we have 5 officers. One of those officers is wearing 2 hats. He's a parking officer and a code officer. He's a busy guy. And then, of course, our nucleus of our department is our admin, Soila.
Yes.
So the parking compliance officer, is that primarily in the downtown core?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. What we've done and continue to do is we have the city broke out into zones, what we refer to as zones or areas. Each officer is responsible for their zone. They field calls, they field the complaints, and they handle any code cases that occur in those areas. They're broken out largely by density and the level of work that is needed. Of course, some of the areas need more work. Those zones are smaller, so they're more manageable. Some of the newer areas, as you see up north or even down south, areas are bigger, the newer developed areas, not needing as much work right now. We have the priority system, and priority 1 is health and safety, and that deals with fire hazards, oils and chemicals, open accessible buildings, boarding up, that sort of thing, and vision triangles, intersections that might have overgrowth or fences, something blocking the view of oncoming traffic. Priority 2 is largely scattered debris. Scattered debris is like car parts, just house, mattresses, stuff that's scattered around in the property that makes it look a mess. And then also household garbage that gets thrown out into the yard. Priority level 3 is not as high priority, unlicensed, unoperative vehicles parked on a driveway. They're important, but not health and safety level. And of course, number 4 is stuff that we can't verify, that we suspect or have had a complaint on. For example, a 6-foot fence Fourth Amendment rights does not allow us to look over through or around a 6-foot fence. The expectancy of privacy is the Fourth Amendment rights. So that's priority 4. Mayor's 5 questions. We just went through question 1. I won't bore you with my reading of that again. Question 2, who's our customer? We feel that our customer is twofold. It's the complainant that calls us, concerned about a property, but it's also our property owner, the violator, who has the issue. We try to treat everybody with respect, empathy, and we feel that's all parties deserve that. Question 3. We feel that the customer values our quick response, being able to get out there and address what needs to be addressed as quick as possible. All this helps keep the neighborhood safe, clean, maintaining property values and that sort of thing. 4, what are our results? Code compliance works daily to gain compliance through education. If we're able to explain to a violator why something needs to be done, if it's a house full of debris or weeds, the hazards that might bring. Fire hazard, weeds when they dry up, it catch on fire pretty easy. So if we can maintain that, it keeps everybody safe. Is our plan effective? I feel yes. And it's reflected in the high percentage of the voluntary compliance that we gain. As you'll see in a minute, we run a pretty high number of voluntary compliance. The code enforcement team works hard. We've got a great team. And we have a very low, or I should say very high compliance rate, and that is due to our team that is out there just knocking it out of the park. Some of our accomplishments so far in 25. As I stated earlier, we have a lead officer position now. His name's Juan. He works with the officers one-on-one and as a group, but giving guidance and coaching. Juan's been with us for 12 years now. He's very good at what he does. He's learned what works, what doesn't work, and he's able to share that information at a quicker speed than I was able to with my other duties, I guess. I'm not saying I'm not doing my job. We've created a code compliance meeting. So that's a valley-wide code compliance meeting. We've started gathering other jurisdictions together so we can meet, discuss what's working for them. We share similar problems throughout the valley. Kind of our theory is that if we can gather and share our successes or our challenges, it really prevents us having to reinvent the wheel, making us more efficient of gaining compliance as quick as possible. As I said earlier, we run a pretty high compliance rate. As of today, we're running 99.5% compliance. That is, I'm expecting that to change a little bit throughout the year, through the summer months. It tends to drop a little bit because we have more cases that we're managing. But all that is due to our face-to-face communication with our customers and convincing them to do what they need to do by explaining why they need to do it. As of today, we have opened and closed some, 833 cases, and 812 of those have come in via complaint from other citizens. Some of our goals this year, we want to provide a 24-hour response time for all priority one complaints. As you saw a few slides back, that quick response to our citizens is valued by them, and we want to continue to do that. We want to achieve a 97 overall for the year of voluntary compliance rate. It's achievable. Our team works hard to do that daily, and they're successful at it. And then, of course, have a weekly inspection rate per officer of 12. So, budget proposal, we're not requesting any additional staff. I feel we are fully staffed at this point, so that eliminates that. We are asking for $30,000 additional in our abatement fund for some of the more severe properties, possibly hoarder situations. We have found over the years that in a hoarder situation, they don't clean up. So we end up giving them a misdemeanor citation. The citation then goes to court, and typically, the last one we were in court with them for over a year. By the time we would go through the court proceedings and the delays through that, that's not fair to the neighbors. That's not fair to the neighborhood. We just need to be able to speed that up. Unfortunately, once it hits the courts, it's totally dependent on the court timeframe. So if we're able to abate it, that will speed that process up. We're looking to increase the salary budget, $17,700. That's $1 per code officer per hour, and that's to bring us more in line with the competitive jurisdictions. We're expecting an increase in postage, so that is bumped a bit. It's not set in stone yet, but we're hearing rumors about 7.4%. And then, of course, in the parking budget, the equal $1 per hour increase also. So that's, I think, short and sweet of code enforcement. Are there any questions?
Yes.
A couple of quick ones. How do you communicate with Canyon County as far as on enclave parcels? Where, I mean, we see it, especially out in the area where I live, there's quite a few enclave parcels that weeds are tall. There's enforcement on city-owned property, but not on county. How does that, I mean, do you interface with them, or what happens?
Yes. So we will call Canyon County Code Enforcement and tell them. They typically want the complainant to go online. They only accept online complaints, whereas we do online and phone or in person. We accept those. Canyon County only will accept online complaints. As far as weeds, like you said, the Canyon County Code is different. They won't address weeds unless it's a fire hazard. Just the city code is anything above 8 inches. Canyon County they don't have a maximum level, just if it's a fire hazard.
So who determines if it's a fire hazard then?
Canyon County.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it can be, especially in the latter part of the summer, can be a concern. I know
Yes.
it has been for some property owners in the past.
Yes.
The only other question I had was, in the past, it's been kind of an ongoing joke. You guys don't issue tasers to your employees, do you, as far as for?
No, no.
That's good. There was a lady that used to be in code enforcement that was also a plans examiner, and I would go in and I'd have to joke with her, do you have your taser with you today? So,
No.
okay, so no tasers, thank you.
We use a gift of gab to keep us out of trouble.
Okay.
Natalie?
Thank you, Mayor. Randy and I are on the same wave here. How many of those calls do you think you get on those enclave properties for complaints?
Oh, I don't have a hard number for you. I could get back to you on that.
Is it a lot? Do you feel like you're getting quite a
It's-
few?
I don't feel it is.
Okay.
The bigger challenge, to be honest with you, is the border between Caldwell and Nampa. We have more phone calls on that because they're addressed Nampa, but in the city of Caldwell.
Would it make it easier for you guys to enforce if these properties were annexed into the city?
Yes, we do get complaints that we could be dealing with a violation right next to an enclave property. They'll say, well, how come I have to do it if they don't? And then it goes into a bit of a challenge at that point. We've been handling it pretty well, but it would be easier.
If we did, about how many more employees do you anticipate you would need?
I'd have to do a total count throughout the city of enclave properties, and I don't have that. I don't think it'd bring a whole lot more properties in. Probably one more officer.
Okay. And do you think that would change the amount you would need in your abatement fund?
Yeah, more.
I assumed. Okay. Those are my questions. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? Thank you. Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mayor and Council. Rodney Ashby, Planning and Zoning Director. Happy to be here today. I actually am grateful to talk about my team whenever I can. I think they're a great team. I like how the mayor says this sometimes to the public. She says that our team in general, the city, is not perfect, but we're really good and we do our best. And I feel the same way about my team. It's not perfect. We make mistakes, but we try to correct them. We try to get past them and move forward with a good attitude. So happy to talk about them today. This is our agenda for today. I wanted to start by just kind of pointing out that we have some requirements by state code for our department's work. And the state code, in summary, we have to establish a planning and zoning commission. We have to establish a comprehensive plan and land use map. And we have to follow required processes and minimum standards for planning, entitlements, and plans, including public hearings and noticing. And then we have to establish local laws to govern the entitlement and planning process. And the city of Nampa has done that since the 70s, actually. So this is our vision and our mission. I'll just kind of highlight the mission right now because that's one of the 5 questions. But the things that are highlighted and or bolded on this slide are the core values of my team. We've talked about this many times, and I shared this last year, that these are the things that make our team tick. This is what makes us run. So our mission is to ensure growth and standards, establish a safe, vibrant, and economically sustainable community. So Mayor's 5 questions, I just highlighted that first one. The second one is who was our customer. This was a little bit difficult. I kind of feel like our customers are everybody. I can't really limit anybody from being our customers, but that's a little distracting over there.
That is distracting.
That would be Crystal, yeah.
Hey, Crystal.
That's awesome. Thank you, Crystal. That was entertaining. But our customers truly are, the primary customer is the public, and then the development community. And our secondary customer are other agencies impacted by growth and other internal departments that we provide information to and get information from. Oops, I skipped over 3. What does the customer value? We believe they value engagement, safety, transparency, consistency, thoroughness, legality, impartiality, and orderly growth. That's a bit of a mouthful. And what are our results? Efficient and transparent processes and plans that follow the law, engage the community, provide thorough analysis, ensure all views are well considered, and protect the health, safety, and welfare of the community. And finally, is our plan effective? And I would argue, yes, our plan is effective. We regularly evaluate and fine-tune our codes, processes, and plans. And then I just pulled this from the book that the mayor has referenced in the past. These are things that make sure that a plan is effective. I think we eliminate what is not working effectively. We're regularly looking at our code and our processes to change that. We focus on priorities, what's most important. We identify innovative approaches. We determine where risks should be taken, and we review the progress and outcomes on a regular basis. So this is our team. I just thought it'd be nice to see we are people. The only person missing here is Doug Critchfield, who's also a part of the team. But this is a great team. I really value this team, and maybe I don't look all that great, but what as a presenter or whatever, as a director of this department, whatever good that I do show is because of these good people. And then our department goals for FY25 that we put in the budget packet, these are them. And I'm going to go through each one of them, so I'm not going to spend a ton of time on that. So the first one, I believe this one was met, 100% compliance with state and local processes. Well, how do we do that? Well, first of all, we've had no findings of nonconformance or noncompliance to state and local planning process regulations. Well, how do we do that, though, is we do internal and state training that helps our team stay on top of the law and on top of the best practices. Then the next 3 goals I'm going to cover in just a couple of slides to show that we've met all those. Let's see. So maybe I'll just read those quickly. Process land use entitlement applications efficiently. We provide high-quality information plans for public and decision makers' use, and we provide excellent customer service. So this first one, we process land use entitlement applications efficiently. Compared to other cities in Idaho, over 50,000 in population, we are the smallest planning department per capita while experiencing some of the fastest growth. You can see that there. Planners per 100,000 residents, we're at 7 compared to everybody else that's above that. This slide also shows that we are providing high-quality information and plans for public and decision makers' use. There's a lot of information that we process, research, and analyze for each application. Not only do we provide the staff report to the applicant prior to the hearing, but we also post it online so that they can look at it before the public hearing. Oops, sorry, go back one. Last year's numbers were based on a period from October 1st to May 14th, and so it's a little different here. We're about a month and a half less time period that we're accounting for. But we are processing roughly the same number of applications as we did last year. We have 10 more public hearings this year compared to last year. We have 83 more building permits reviewed this year compared to last year. We had 8 less inspections last year, but last year included the entire month of April and half of May, when many are finalizing landscaping plans, or landscaping, getting the landscaping in. There is one point I wanted to make here, is that there is a trend of significant increases in number of variance applications. Last year was only 9 variances, and we're already at 16 for that time period. So 25 department accomplishments. Anyone can sign up on our website to be notified by email of any newly scheduled public hearing. That's something that anybody can do. They can keep track of what's going on in the community. I think that was a great accomplishment. All information we have received and produced for a project for any upcoming public hearing is available on our website. There is a wealth of information that is available to people. And I think they forget that, you know, that we have that available to them. They can look up all the information that we have. And then finally, on this slide at least, GIS helped us create the public hearing meeting map, an interactive map showing recent and upcoming planning related projects. I wanted to just show you this map. This is just a screenshot I took of the map at a particular date. But you can, those little green and blue, and there are some red boxes, you can click on those boxes, and a citizen can look at that, and they can see what the status of a project is. They can also click where it says View on the drop-down menu there. They can click on View, and they can see every document that has been submitted, or every document that we've provided to the public. So it's all available to anyone. So, and this is for a 3-month period that they can look back on projects that have been approved in the 3-month period, and anything that are coming up for public hearings in the near future. Okay, so additional development or department accomplishments. We created online contact form for submitting questions, and we responded to 85 forms submitted October 1st through April 7th. This has really helped us be more efficient, because in the past we would just get questions and emails, and it didn't give us all the information. We didn't know which parcel they were talking about, so then it was a back and forth with the public. Now there's a form that people can submit and get all their information down, and then we can respond to them efficiently, and we have done that. We simplified findings of fact. We've simplified motions for decision makers. You've seen that in the just recent months. And we have pre-app meeting notes are now required for all applications. That ensures that they've talked to somebody in our department prior to submitting an application. They know what they should be submitting, so that we, again, don't have that back and forth on what applications they should be submitting. And then finally, the planning department is now drafting ordinances and getting city attorney's approval. In the past, the attorney has drafted all those ordinances, and we are doing that now with the attorney's approval.
Who in your department's involved with that process?
Yeah, so my staff, Linda Noah, is the one that starts it. Christy Watkins reviews it, and then we send it over to our attorney's office, and the paralegal, Kirsten, reviews it, and then once she's okay with it, then she sends it on to the attorney for his final okay.
So do you have model documents that you use and adapt?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Yeah, we've reviewed it with him. He's given us some templates to use, and we do the best to just stick with that template.
Are they, is there an organization that you're attached to that provides those type of documents to you? Like in my profession, the American Institute of Architects provides model documents to be able to modify for each specific need.
Not that I know of, but we asked Preston Rudder for that template, and he's been able to provide it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mayor, before we go on, Rodney, can you go tell us on the website where citizens go to sign up for those email notifications?
Can I send it to you after the
Yes.
meeting? Yeah, I wouldn't be able to.
It might even be
navigate.
worth, I know you might not like this idea, but to make a video, because your little videos are so helpful for us, at least, to share with the public.
sure.
So that might be a good tool for us to use. And then also you can explain the map in there as well,
Yeah.
the interactive map. That's
a great idea.
Might be awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
You did?
We did a social post about your land use.
No,
Like the
she's
YouTube- the
referring to
YouTube
the public
videos?
hearing map. Oh, yeah, we
Like a
did.
social post about it
We
with
did a
your
social
video.
post. We didn't do a
Oh, you did.
video.
Perfect.
But
No, great. I'll find it. Thank you.
Okay, so this is a good transition. We completed the Citizens Guide to Planning magazine, and we have our website there as well, and the videos that anybody can look to. And I think that's been really helpful. We've completed the 10 Mile Creek pathway. That was a Compass project, and it was just development design of that. We completed the Southwest Nampa specific area plan. That was per approved scope, on time and under budget. We've completed the downtown we started the downtown implementation plan and feasibility study, and we are currently within schedule and on budget for that. And then we are just beginning the comprehensive plan 2050 work, so the first phase of the plan. We've got a contract that is coming before City Council shortly for approval. And then we've done a lot of outreach to try to just help people understand planning. I think that it just isn't understood very well. So I met with the Team Realty group, and it was about, I don't know, maybe 30 to 40 realtors in the room, and just went over some things we hear from citizens about what realtors are saying, and then what sometimes comes back to us, and they say, well, my realtor said this, and we have to explain, well, maybe that's not quite right, or maybe you heard it wrong. And then we also went to the Citizens Academy and presented there. I attended an HOA meeting and presented there. The Mayor's Teen Council, Leadership Nampa, and Future Cities, all those presentations, just trying to get the word out about what planning does. And we plan to do even more in 2025. We want to finalize our downtown implementation plan. We want to develop code changes and design standards per the downtown plan. And we want to get going on the projects that are in that plan. So that's a really big emphasis right now, is that downtown plan. We want to host Idaho American Planning Association Conference, and we will. We would love for the council and the mayor to attend that conference this year. This is here in Nampa. Some of the classes are even going to be in this room. The rest of them will be in the Civic Center, and that is the whole state of Idaho's conference for planners. And it will be in, I think it's the first week of October. And so we would love to have your involvement there. We will finalize the phase one of the comprehensive plan. We will do additional Realtor Association presentations about the Citizens Guide to Planning, and we are we're trying to get certified right now to be a presenter for a Realtor course for them to continue to have credits for their license, for the Realtor license. We just are finding that they just don't hear about planning very much in their courses that they take when they first get their license.
I was going to ask the same thing. Are there continuing education credits available through the American Planning Association Conference?
Yep, that's exactly what it's for. Yep.
So would they be AIA certified as well?
They are correct. AICP certified courses are what my team goes to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I go through the AIA, or basically the CEU for credits,
Okay.
but they can be self-reported too. It's just if they are available or not.
Yeah, I'm not sure about I know it's AICP certified, or APA is the organization we're in.
I imagine there's companion
Yeah.
programs, so.
Right.
It's obviously, the time spent and what you learn is helping you better yourself from an educational standpoint.
Yeah, exactly. We are actually going to hold a meeting here on one of the days for City Council and Planning and Zoning Commissioners. So anybody in the Valley could come, if they're a council member or a Planning and Zoning Commissioner, to learn about, the law, the process of handling land use applications. All right, so our updated goals, the ones that are coming this year, these are the ones for the mayor's dashboard. The first one is first review of initial application completed within 7 days or less for 85% of applications. We're doing that currently, right now we are doing that. We schedule first public hearings within 90 days or less from date of complete application for 85% of applications, and that's true as well. We do have some struggle sometimes with variances and vacations because those don't go to the Planning and Zoning Commission. They go straight to City Council, and we're scheduling out right now we're just about to schedule into August right now for City Council. So we're on that cusp, but we're trying to pack in as many public hearings as we can. And then even though those are the dashboard goals, we like to just highlight these 4 goals. These are the ones that I reported on for this past year, and I think they're still valid, and this kind of drives our team. Okay, so this, if Planning and Zoning, these are the reports on the budget. So we have no new FTEs being requested, no open positions. We are fully staffed, no capital requests. And if you took out the department revenue share, labor, and contracted services, we're at a 21% reduction in our operations this year. And then just a highlight of the contractual services. In FY25, we had $130,000. $50,000 of that was for the downtown plan. 80 of that was for the comp plan, phase 1. And we talked about this at that time, that we would fund 3 years of the comprehensive plan. The first one would be 80. This year would be 240. FY26 would be 240, and then FY27 would be 80. So you can see the contractual services budget breakdown for this year, FY26, this coming year, I should say, right there. And here's an organizational chart of our team, and I think that's it. Any questions for me?
Great job, Rodney. Do we have any questions?
Mayor, Rodney, when you notice public hearings and you have to go within so many feet of that property, do you also notice, or do you also notify the enclave properties that are in that area as
We do,
well?
yep.
And would it be helpful for you guys if they were annexed into the city?
That's a definite yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Rodney, just a simple question. This last, few months, we've had the interface with ITD and on that one project. And so inviting you to the site, getting, your input as far as site development access, it didn't include ITD until plans were submitted to the building department for a building permit. And then, then we were back up to trying to please them and didn't even know that they had an issue with access. So when, or is it upon the design professional requirement to contact them in advance of any submittal if we know that ITD is involved with frontage or access?
So I'll take that one. So in our pre-application meetings, we've been starting to invite ITD to those when we see they are on a state route, whether it's 11th Caldwell Boulevard or 12th Avenue, Garrity through town. And so ultimately, yes, it is the design, they're responsible to make that application to ITD. We don't forward those applications, but at the plan review and then also at the pre-application stage, we've got one tomorrow that we've invited them to because they're on that. So we've started to invite them to participate in those pre-application meetings that we have.
If that obviously can be something that's encouraged up front, it'd be helpful. Like in this case, it was after the fact, which delayed the plan review process.
And I'll just add one last thing to that is just that we, every public hearing we have, any kind of annexation or plat or anything, we send all of that over to them for review. And sometimes they make comments and sometimes they don't. So maybe just a little closer look at when are they applying or when are they providing those comments might be good for my staff to look at.
Yeah, it'd be helpful.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Rodney, thank you. Appreciate it. So we have two more presentations this morning, engineering and economic development.
And I think this happened last year where Robin had to follow me and we didn't leave her a whole lot of time. So I'm going to try to go pretty quickly. So our mission and vision, I've changed this a little bit from last year, obviously, because of the transition from being within Public Works and having the projects in GIS group to now just being development focused. The mission that we have in development engineering is to maintain the existing levels of service for development-related activities and amid significant growth and provide timely customer service to the public. And that's what we really try to do throughout my whole team. So the 5 questions, that was our mission. Who is our customers? Our customers are really the citizens of Nampa, the development community, whether it's residential, industrial, commercial development, and then our other partnering agencies with the highway district, the irrigation districts who are also affected by development, and then adjacent cities where we butt up against them. We need to be coordinating and making sure that we're providing the best service we can to our citizens and the development community as well. And so what do our customers value? They value safety, they value expediency, so getting those reviews and answers quickly, and then the quality of the work. We often hear from the people that we work with that, in other jurisdictions, they get multiple rounds of comments back and forth for months, and we really strive to make sure that our reviews are complete and as thorough as we can make them so that we don't have to go back and forth as many times, and that's really of value to our customers. So what are our results? We provide that guidance through our development process, which, for the developers that we work with, it's different through each city, but they generally have a pretty good idea of what the processes are. When it comes to the citizens, we have a lot more education to do there. When they come in and want to do something, say someone wants to come in and put a new driveway in or something like that, we have to work with them a lot more to run them through that process of these are the permits you'll need, these are the drawings you'll need, and what we can do there. And so we do a lot more education and that with our citizens. And the developers, like I say, they have professional people that are coming in and have worked through the process and know it quite a bit better. But we do a really good job of helping those citizens through. Obviously, sometimes they're not happy with our answers, but we still have to work within the codes that we have. Whether that makes them happy or not, we try to help them understand why those codes are there so that they can at least understand why we're giving the answers that we are. And then is our plan effective? We feel that it certainly is. We hear from the people that we work with that if they are given an opportunity to work in any of the cities around, they prefer to work in Nampa because of the staff. because of how helpful we are and how much we can do to help them through the process. And so I think that what we're doing is effective for our customers. Don't always make them happy, but we do our best and do what we can to provide them the service that they're looking for and get them to the point that they really want to be at. So our accomplishments for this year, we are finishing up the FEMA floodplain stuff. So that's been published in the paper, and we're working on that 90-day comment period. So we should be complete prior to the end of this year with the new floodplains that will help a number of citizens throughout the city no longer have to have flood insurance. It also helps with some commercial areas that along 11th Avenue in Indian Creek in that area that removes a number of those properties from the floodplain as well, so that there is not a barrier to redevelopment of sites in that area. Thank you, Amy. So we, like Mark talked about, we completed a reorganization of the department. So the GIS group and the projects group remained and went under Public Works Admin, and then the development group, my team, are under Development Services. For our permit applications that are engineering specific, we've had 460 right-of-way permit applications to date since October 1. We're on pace. Typically the summer months are our higher volume months for that type of permitting, and so we're on pace to be around 1,200 permits this year for right-of-way permits.
Daniel, how does that compare annually? Is this, have they gone up or they?
So they are trending upward, and with the addition of fiber providers coming through town, that is helping trend that upwards, which is a challenge at times, but one that we're working through, and you'll see some. In our staffing, we're working on a second right-of-way technician that will help with some of that workload to be able to get out there and help manage that more. So our budget, we have no new FTEs that we're requesting this year. We have 2 vacant positions. One is a plan reviewer that projects stole one of my plan reviewers last fall, and so we're working on backfilling that position, finding people with civil plan review experience is somewhat challenging, and so we're still working. We've had that one open for quite a while and have not been able to find the right candidate for it yet. And then we're working on filling the right-of-way that second right-of-way technician that was a new position in FY '25. So for our actual budget, in the budget book, when you look at that, you won't see a last year's budget under my organization. What we've done, that's just because of the reorganization. My budget was in Public Works previously. What we did when we split that, we got together with the 3 groups, so GIS, projects group, and myself, and we took the budget that we had previously under Public Works and split that out, so there's no net increase other than the new positions that the GIS group talked to you about during their presentation. So we've kept that operationally flat, even though it's been split out into 3 different areas. And this is our current organizational chart. You can see myself, the mayor, and Mark, and then our admin and the plan review group that we have 2 plan reviewers, 1 is vacant. We have our line locators, our right-of-way techs, and then our 3 inspectors that do the civil inspection for the public works infrastructure throughout the city. And any questions?
Couple of quick questions. So your inspection team is subsurface off-site, or do you do on-site inspection as well?
So our crews that do the inspections, we do the public infrastructure related to both subdivisions and civil for the commercial sites. So if it's public infrastructure, we are doing those inspections. So if they're running a water or sewer main that's public on the site, we'll be looking at that. If it's on the private side, that ends up under John's team with the plumbing inspectors. If it's stormwater on site, the engineer of record is responsible to inspect that.
And that was going to be my next question, is there is an interface between your inspection team and John's inspection team?
Correct.
Okay. And then just off, I'm not sure, I haven't seen the FEMA map and the reductions. Between 11th and 16th north of the tracks, how much of a decrease, enough to maybe encourage commercial development or residential?
It is significantly, for the majority of Indian Creek, it reduces the floodplain to the channel.
Wow.
So I can show you the maps if you'd like after the meeting.
Will that be on the portal or on the website?
We have not posted, because they're not finalized, we have not posted them, but we do have the draft maps. They're not as pretty, as clean necessarily as the final maps will be. There's additional data there that makes them a little harder to interpret, and so that's why we haven't posted them. We don't want to confuse people.
Yeah, if I can get a copy of that, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
Great job. Robin?
A lot shorter. Well, thank you. I get to be the last. I know you've sat through a lot of this today, but I do have to say, as I listen to Development Services talk, how grateful I am for each of their departments and what they do to help my job be so much easier. I work with phenomenal groups that help these projects come to Nampa and help businesses succeed in Nampa. Let me see again. Our mission for economic development is to maximize opportunities for Nampa businesses by attracting new jobs and investment. We also guide the redevelopment of our downtown as a vibrant business center and attractive gathering space for our citizens. And additionally, we utilize our community development block grant dollars to make strategic investments in lasting community assets and services, which help our citizens prosper. So with economic development, it is really about business and then also helping them succeed, the ones that are existing as well as the ones that are coming, and then our CDBG program. Who is our customer? Our customer is the public and businesses, our commercial and industrial developers, site selectors, statewide and regional partners, and other internal departments. What does our customer value? Our customer, the developers, our site selectors, and then also our citizens, they value a return on investment. They value accurate information, being solution-oriented, efficiency, resources, and funding. I was at a BOMA conference, which is for developers and builders across the Treasure Valley. It's a nationwide organization. I spoke there a couple weeks ago, and one of the questions they asked was, how does Nampa go through getting projects? We've been very successful when we look at other communities in the Treasure Valley. Nampa's had a lot of success with getting businesses to come to Nampa. And the solution-oriented has been the thing that I think is what one of our developers calls our special sauce. He's their nationwide developer, and he said, you know, when you come to Nampa, there is this special sauce, which is so fun to think about. And really that happens with this team that's in this room right here today. So we've been successful that way. As well as our customers value efficiency. They want to see us move efficiently, and they value resources and they value funding, especially when we're talking about our CDBG programs. What are our results? Economic development, our results are measured by the dollars of private investment, jobs created and retained, projects that are interested in locating in our community. And for community development, it's really our number of households helped in Nampa through our CDBG funds. Is our plan effective? Well, I would definitely say yes. We've had a lot of success in businesses wanting to come to Nampa and having a lot of interest in locating here. Nampa is a place where businesses regularly locate to grow and prosper. We've been in the media for our business-friendly environment, for example, in Wallet Hub and WRE News, which is a real estate news site. Also, our number of households in Nampa are helped with our CDBG funds that respond to critical home repairs, the ADA sidewalk access, park improvements, and access to shelter and food. I think I maybe skipped one. Nope, I didn't. There we go. So here's our team. I wanted to highlight, we've added a member of our team very recently, our Assistant Director, Morgan Treasure. She was with the City of Nampa prior about 3.5 years ago, and then went to CUNA to be their Director of Economic Development for the last 3.5 years, and now we are fortunate to have an experienced economic developer come back to us and help with our economic development projects as they move forward, and have her knowledge that she's gained, where she did a very large project with Meta, and we're excited to have her back and in that role. So the rest of us, I think you know. Here's our organizational chart. As you've seen many of these, I do report to the mayor, and then the rest of the structure underneath that with our assistant director, our 2 analysts, and then our community development program manager, Matt, and then the assistant program manager, Hannah. All right. So these are our reporting goals for our dashboard that go out to on the dashboard. We have these goals. I won't spend a lot of time on this because we'll go into this in detail on the others. We achieve, one of the first one is achieve 187 households served by Rake Up annually. We're just shy of that, 172 households, which is amazing when you think about that the vast majority of that happens in one day. So a lot of our disabled and elderly citizens being served by Rake Up. And number 2 follows that in that we're hoping to have 2,600 numbers of volunteer hours. We beat that by a long shot at over 3,000 hours served, which we have teams, we have over 1,000 people that serve that week for Rake Up, which is a huge, it's such a gratifying event to see all of those people come and want to serve. And many, many children. We have lots of Girl Scouts groups and schools group, and then NNU participates. That is a fantastic event and really has that sense of community, and then helping our elderly folks who can't get out and rake those big yards and make a difference in their lives. So I love that event. It's a fun one. And then we achieve 400 individuals that utilize our community development block grant public service and housing programs. So the results on that is 325 individuals assisted year to date. So obviously we're not quite done. The Family Justice Center has served 146 individuals with the funding that we provide to them. St. Al's Meals on Wheels, there's 183 elderly that are getting their meals because of our funding. And Catch has served 46 individuals, and Jesse Tree, which is 39 individuals. And then our home loan repair program, which provides those critical home loans, we're at 11 households so far this year. And then our last 2 of achieving 2,600 level funding to help sponsor these community activities. So like Rake Up, we do with Code, we do a tire drive, usually about every other year to get old tires out of the yard, and we received $4,500 in sponsorships for both of those activities. And then we beat this one because we added an employee, so achieve an 80% retention rate. I would like to say that adding Morgan, we just moved around some funds to be able to utilize funds that we already had. We didn't need to increase our budget or amend anything to have her hired. We just reallocated funds.
And I just say, we did have an open position from someone that did step away months and months ago.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't like we had over budgeted.
Yeah.
It's that we did have an open position we were able to utilize.
Thank you for that, Mayor. All right, so much like Rodney said, we do department goals. And so in creating economic opportunity, one of the goals was to complete 40 business retention expansion visits with businesses annually. So this is just visiting with businesses, getting a sense of what they need, where they're going, what services they might be looking for, how we can better help them, because there's so many times that they don't know about like the SBA or the SBDCs, the Small Business Association or our Small Business Development Center, and helping our smaller businesses and our larger businesses understand where they're going. When Matern did their huge expansion, almost doubling what they were manufacturing, all of that came out of a business retention expansion visit, that this is coming down the pike, and then help the city start planning for being able to respond to what our businesses need that are here. We track the number of project requests for information, and then so far we've had 16 what are called response for information, and so our RFIs come in through usually Commerce or BVEP are the two that they usually come in, and sometimes I do get direct inquiries for projects too as well. So we've tracked 16 so far for this last 7 months, and now I need to add one more because I got another one on Monday, which is fantastic. And so we have had 17 so far. That's busy. So the businesses, I know our news would say otherwise, but we have a lot of people interested in relocating. And we can see that in the next bullet points, which all of you know, I think, Tractor Supply locating their distribution center in North Nampa, with over 500 jobs created, over $200 million in investment, and they'll be operational in FY26, which is very exciting. TBC, which is North America's largest manufacturer of automotive replacement tires through wholesale and franchise operations, they located in North Nampa as well, out right across from Matern. That one's exciting. Amazon same-day facility center has located in Nampa. Amazon loves Nampa. We were their first distribution center, and now we have their first same-day facility center, which in Idaho. That has over 300 jobs, and it's exciting as well because it provides different kinds of jobs, right? So our citizens can choose to have like that same day facility center. Many of them are using this as like a side income because they can choose which kind of shift they want. They can work 3 hours, know that, okay, I'm off my regular job at 5:30. I can take a shift from 7 to 10. And be able to earn some extra income. So that addition is really wonderful as well as I think most of us love getting our same day services. So that's nice too. And then Excite this is a great project that happened. I end up going to some conferences throughout the year and travel, but Excite, this project came out of me being at a conference and then Micron locating here. Excite is the builder for the Micron project. And so they decided that they would like to locate 3 of their subsidiaries here in Nampa at the Fuller 84 site, which is just across the street from the Amazon distribution center. The thing about this one is that that's 250 jobs, but their average wage is $65,000 a year, which are great jobs and provide great jobs for Nampa.
Question for you.
Yep.
The 250 jobs, is that at the Micron plant or is that here in Nampa?
So Mayor, Councilman Haverfield, they're here. Yep, right at the Fuller 84 site.
Because the expansion at Micron, I heard was a similar number, and then the support underneath it was like 15,000 plus.
Mayor, Councilman Haverfield, you're correct. That Micron site has so many jobs attached with it at the site as well as the construction of it.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
I shared this at a BVEP conference a couple of weeks ago too. One of the most amazing things is with all of these projects coming in, when I started working here in 2019, our commuter pattern, we had way more people leaving Nampa to be able to go to work. But as of the end of 2022-23, now we have the opposite. We have people coming in, more people coming into Nampa to work, which is fantastic. That's good for our roads. It's good for our citizens to be able to work, live, and play. And so that's a big number that came out of census data, which I was excited to see. And then finally, Johnson Thermal Systems did an expansion to Nampa. They are right across from the Stowe Company in North Nampa, and they have over 200 full-time jobs, and they are actually doing their ribbon cutting in July. So this is really exciting. They make the batteries that help support data warehouses, ginormous big batteries. You can think that take semi-trucks to be backup system for data warehouses, much like Meta would need. And so with all of the data that we use on these and our phones, they cannot keep up. Their orders are out 3 years for Johnson Thermal Systems. Okay, I talked a long time on that. You can tell I love it. It's fun. It's fun to talk about our businesses and what they're doing. Our community development block program, we've had a lot go on for our accomplishments for FY25. The public service activities for senior services. We are obviously not all the way through this year, but year to date, 83 individuals have received Meals on Wheels. Our homelessness assistance with Catch. The rapid rehousing program, 46 individuals are assisted with a goal of 60. So by the end of the year, we will be there, as well as with Jesse Tree, which is homelessness prevention. It's helped them keep them in homes or in a place to live. They have met their goal at 39 individuals, and then with the Nampa Family Justice Center, 146 individuals have been assisted. Our community development block grant program, this is for our infrastructure, our park projects and our ADA improvements. The goal is to serve almost 9,000 individuals, and that is done through these 3 construction projects. You'll see that we haven't met our goals on these, but that's mainly because we're now in construction season. So we'll begin construction this now and then work through the summer, and then when we get to the fall, we'll be able to have those 3 projects completed. So those are our 5th Street pedestrian ramp improvements, West Park ADA bathroom improvement, and Creech's basketball court replacement. And then we have our home loan repair program, which is critical for keeping people in our homes. There are many times that we are their last resource to be able to stay housed and in their homes. So this is a great program to be able to keep people in their homes. 11 households have used this fund, and then we have 3 more that are in process. And then our Arts and Historic Preservation Commission, we have a historic plan that was completed in 2020. And then we are working on goal number 1 to understand and document our historic buildings and sites. So working with Canyon County Historical Society and the Historic Preservation Commission, there was conducted a historic resource survey of 2 residential neighborhoods, Shalimar Terrace, which has the mid-century ranch homes, and Glenview Estates, which has log cabin style homes, and Pearsall Park, Ord Neighborhood, and Park Avenue Lakeview surveys are scheduled for FY26. So that's what's coming. And then number 2, working on that goal to preserve, protect, and enhance historic buildings and sites. We've evaluated local district designation for 1 National Register of Historic Places district, Old Nampa. The pursuit continues for design guidelines to be applied for future local historic districts. And then on the art side, we've done a lot of code refinement for our art, public and private, to begin to have a streamlined process when art comes in and have that be implemented. And then we do have an art maintenance fund that was added to the budget in FY25, and that's to be able to maintain the public art that we've put in, as well as like in the roundabouts where we have those really great sculptures, to be able to maintain those and have some funds there. So when they do get hit, because they get hit, that we have some funds to be able to repair those. Downtown. We spend a lot of time in downtown. We love our downtown. Downtown has had so much revitalization over the last several years, but one of the things that has happened in this last year, much to the hard work of Amber Bothwell, is the reorganization of our downtown, the administrative function. So Mayor helped us get to the point that we could get our BID and our downtown board make them one board, work as one board, and have a 501c6 and a 501c3, so that our volunteers that were both serving on both boards, they could have some efficiency, have one board, and be able to better administer our downtown. This is exciting. Our downtown has responded so well to this. They love this new structure, being able to better serve our downtown businesses and also our citizens, and make it a possibility for that downtown redevelopment. As Rodney mentioned, we've been working very hard on the downtown implementation plan, as well as our downtown feasibility study. We do a lot to support our downtown businesses and support of the downtown events. If you haven't been to Third Thursday, come to Third Thursdays. The first one is next, 2 weeks from now. And about 2,500 people usually show up to those. They love them. They're free. It's very family friendly and fun to be part of. And then we do support downtown decor with some of the lighting and furnishings with benches. Oh. I don't know what happened. Do you know what happened? I have to share again. Did I get kicked off? Oh, I bet I got kicked off because it's 9 o'clock. Did we get kicked off because it's 9 o'clock? Well, you know what? It's just a second. Let me see if I can get. Nope. It's not happy. Nope. My computer's decided it's done. So I don't know. Maybe it's I'm almost done. Let's go to. Let's go to. After downtown, we have the Nampa Development Corporation right after downtown. The next slide.
Yep, slide 18.
Sorry, I'm just seeing if I can get this to work one more time. No, it just won't. Can you share? Yeah. I don't know what it's. The Nampa Development Corporation also has 6, and we have 3 incentives. We have our sidewalk incentive, we've got our restaurant incentive, and our facade incentive, and I'm going to wrap up real quick and realize I'm too late. You're eating the donuts from DK Donuts today, and that's paid into the restaurant incentive, and that was to be able to get them to be able to come to our downtown. They went into the Oddfellows building, and we did a lot of repairs.
There's that little mic. Mic is there, yeah.
Oh my gosh, okay. Am I red? I feel a little red. Okay, so we'll keep going. So we had the facade incentive as well. Is it working? Yep. I do not know what happened. It just all died.
Kicked off the Wi-Fi somehow.
Oh, okay, thank you. Okay, well, let's get to the right slide here. I will complete. We do have some goals. We did, for our dashboard, we increased the number of volunteer hours for number 2. We increased the goal for number 3 from 400 individuals to 800 individuals. And we increased our goal to be able to increase our business sponsorship for number 4 to 3,500. For our department goals, those business retention expansion visits, we increased that to 50. And then we'll continue to track our number of requests for information and our response rate and success rate, and then track our number of educational outreach opportunities for CDBG. For our budget proposal for FY26, we do not have any additional positions that we will be requesting. We do not have any budget increases. Our budget will remain flat. It actually went down probably about 5%. And then no capital requests as well. So with that, sorry that was a little bumpy at the end, but I'll take questions.
Mayor, go ahead.
So we've got both.
Go ahead.
Okay. Randy first and then Natalie.
Thank you for all you do. Obviously, it's fun to serve with you on several of these commission assignments. So I see how hard you work and those that work with you. Your team's great. So my question is, as you pursue outside businesses wanting to come to Nampa, do you see any impediments as far as for their desire to be here based upon residential capacity, utilities, either availability or not available utilities? And I'll just make a statement. Several years ago when I got on council, it was with a desire to have live-work opportunities for people that lived in Nampa, because there is a lot of people that flood other areas for their employment. It's not based in Nampa. Do you find that there's more people that are actual residents that are taking on some of these job responsibilities that the businesses are offering?
Mayor, Councilman Haverfield, I do see that we need more housing. We need different kinds of housing, so we need some more workforce housing. So when you're talking about like a Tractor Supply, those employees, you're going to have somebody working for $28 an hour, and then all the way up to more like $65 an hour. So being able to be responsive to those that are making $28 an hour to those that are earning more. And so when a site selector comes in and looks, they do all these studies on workforce and how many people we have here and what kind of housing we have here. And that is a component, because they want their employees obviously to be able to have somewhere to live and a nice place to live and a community that they would like to live in. So I guess that would be one of my answers. And then for infrastructure, when I talk to businesses, especially when we're talking around the Highway 16 going in, there's so many questions about how are we going to get the infrastructure in. And we know some of that, but when we start going north of USTIC, there's much more there. And I have, grocers are usually one of the first that are asking, because they know that there's going to be residential fill-in. They know that they're going to want to locate an Albertsons or a Fred Meyer, Kroger, or Costco. And so those are conversations that I have on a regular basis. I have amazing people that help with that.
That's what I was going to ask, if you work with Daniel's department as far as for the utility availability.
Absolutely.
As an example, that new data facility that's coming into CUNA, they're going to use hydro, but it's they're going to pull it out of the ground, use it, and put it back into the ground. So that's a unique source of energy for them. We don't have anybody like that trying to come here, I assume. So the utilities that we have available are still adequate to handle the capacity that they will be requiring.
So Mayor, Councilman Haverfield, I think one of the things too, that when we have a site visit that's happening this Friday, when those happen, Daniel is there, and then we go through questions. We have a wet user that wants to come in, and answering those questions about what would be needed for upgrades, and then how we work with the city to be able to fund that. The developer being upfront many times and then getting reimbursement as more people come on. So we'll have those conversations with Daniel in the room, and it's extremely helpful. So we've gotten pretty good at it. When those site selection visits happen, the developer and then the site selectors usually come away with what they're needing to know, and we try to meet their demands and needs as fast as possible. Yeah.
I will say economic development and development services work very closely together. A lot of times Mark is in that room and working with these businesses and meeting and answering all those questions. We have an amazing team.
Yeah.
Good job. Okay, Natalie.
Thank you, Robin. So those numbers for Meals on Wheels, the Catch and the Jesse Tree, are those Nampa specific, or are those numbers that were helped in total?
Yes. So Mayor, Councilwoman, yes, they are Nampa specific.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. And I'm still hoping your special sauce will bring us an IKEA.
That's fantastic. I actually, to answer your question, I know we're late, but I am traveling to Las Vegas, which is the largest retailer conference, and I'm going to meet with IKEA. So we'll see. We'll see what they decide.
Sending special.
All right.
Robin, thank you. Great presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Team, you did a great job. You do great work. I'm proud of you. Thank you. Thank you. And meeting adjourned.